guys, Ryax at Falls Festival with the AU.
Welcome back home.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel to be kind of back in the lush surrounds of the Australian coast?
Yeah, it feels awesome actually. It's weird, you don't think that after living in California for 12 years, you think that I'd have some kind of affiliation with that, but
Yeah.
I get home here and everything makes sense again, so
Yeah.
I love being here.
And I mean, it's been a massive year for you just being on the road in so many different countries as well. So to be able to bring it back home and kind of just chill out and bring in the new year, in such familiar surrounds, that's going to be a really cool feeling too.
Yeah, I'm really honoured actually to come home. I feel like I've been wanting to put energy in here for a long time, and I've just been so busy not having the opportunity to come back.
Yep.
But as soon as the opportunity came up, I jumped at it, to come back and be here.
Yeah.
It means a lot to get asked to come back and to be part of the Australian music kind of culture again, and I really want to keep doing that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so the last time we saw you, we were in the UK, and you were putting on some really beautiful shows in some really interesting locations. How has it felt to kind of continue to flesh out the record and just see where these sounds can go in such a variety of spaces?
Yeah, I mean that's for me, I'm very much deeply into evolving the music live.
Yeah.
We make a really big effort to not be constrained by computers or kind of the consistency of having to do it the same every night. And it's been really fun to expand the material and to grow with it. And I think sometimes after you've toured something for a while, you then realize where the song is supposed to really be. And
Yeah.
we've definitely got to that place, and I'm really enjoying kind of expanding and exploring this live context and trying to make it more art-filled and more explorative. Yeah.
Definitely. And do you think like being on the road and, as you were saying, exploring the different ways that these sounds can come together, do you find that that's been influencing different music that you've been thinking about or new directions for sounds?
Yeah, of course. I think also once you get it set up,
I've been doing a lot of stuff with orchestras now, which has always been a dream of mine.
Yeah.
And starting to get to play with orchestras in a live context, and also kind of combining a lot of the analog synth world with drum machines and really blending all these worlds together that I've loved does give you a palette for when you go make new music.
Yeah.
I've been also writing a lot and creating a lot on the road, so I think it's always just a need to be constantly evolving and exploring, but the touring part definitely adds a lot to that.
Yeah. Has there been any particular highlight of the last few months on the road for you?
Yeah, I mean, we play such crazy, beautiful shows.
Yeah.
We played inside of a cave in the Arctic Circle in Norway in the fjords on an island.
Awesome.
So, I mean, we're doing some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That was definitely a highlight. We've done some beautiful places that have never been played before. Notre Dame on the last tour. We played a beautiful concert hall in Utrecht. And we're doing stuff like Philharmonic spaces now,
Awesome.
which I'm really excited for. So it's just, it's constantly growing, and it just feels really humbling to have the support of everybody to keep kind of paving this untrodden path.
Yeah.
Playing these really non-traditional spaces and trying to create a really atmospheric kind of beautiful experience for people.
Well, that's what I've kind of been loving about your music, especially over the last year and a bit, is the fact that we're in a really interesting time where you've got such established and traditional sounds that come from philharmonics and from different orchestras now mixing with this synth-based world and this really kind of experimental side of music, and people are really rocking with it. It's not such a divided thing anymore. Like there's a real natural blend of the two, and I think that's really cool for music going forward.
Yeah, I think we've basically been able to break down the walls of genre, obviously, in the last few years, but just moving forward, there's this ability to really expand in all directions, African music, Indian music, and whatever's influencing or whatever you're connecting to, it's really nice to break the walls down and kind of combine into what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I suppose, now that we're getting to the end of the year, we've been asking artists, if there have been any particular albums or musicians that they've been listening to that have ranked highly. Has there been any for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I like a lot of ambient music, so I kind of listen to a lot of weird ambient music, and most of it's not very well known to me. I kind of go between that world and then some house and techno stuff from Berlin, and then a lot of my traditional artists, when Radiohead brings out a record, or Bjork or whatever, I like to dive deep into those worlds. Some favourites from this year. There's been a lot of music.
Yeah, it's been so many good records that have come out.
I think the thing for me is just kind of trying to encapsulate and swallow as much of it as possible. And I think once you're living as an artist, you become much more ingrained in immersing in a lot of different worlds.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't attach onto one record as much. something's better than something else when they're in completely different worlds.
Definitely.
But I think it's really super exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And, with a full new year ahead of, hopefully more awesome music to come, I mean, what are you looking forward to the most about kind of approaching 2017?
There's so much stuff. I'm doing a lot of RIX stuff, a lot of new stuff, and then my other projects, Howling and the Acid, both have material coming out.
Oh,
and,
awesome.
Lots of kind of touring and continuing to push boundaries.
Yeah, cool.
And break down walls. And for me, it's really important as an artist to inspire people and try and create some sense of change. I think that's been a little bit lost in the computer spectrum of the world at the moment. And I want to get out there and continue to speak honestly and be raw and be human.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see how it turns out for you. Thank you so much for your time.